What you're about to discover will shock you to your core. The numbers we're revealing today paint a picture so devastating it might change how you see America forever. Tourism to the United States is experiencing the most catastrophic collapse in modern history. The financial devastation is beyond imagination. America is hemorrhaging $12.5 billion because international visitors are fleeing like never before. Traveler spending has already plummeted by 22.5% compared to last year. These tourism statistics reveal a continued freefall right here in southern Nevada. Thousands of valley workers whose livelihoods depend on international visitors are panicking. This summer delivered significantly fewer tourists. Hotel occupancy crashed by 14.9% in June alone. July brought even worse news when Las Vegas posted the sharpest decline in the entire nation. If you find these revelations shocking, subscribe and hit the bell. We bring hard truths mainstream won't touch. Stay with us, because the bill for this madness has finally arrived. The numbers arrived like a medical examiner's report documenting the death of American tourism. International arrivals have plummeted by 14%, creating ghost towns where airports once thrived. Western Europeans are fleeing at a 17% rate. Germans have virtually vanished, nearly 30% erased from arrival statistics. These aren't travelers delaying trips or choosing cheaper options. They're completely avoiding America altogether. Summer 2025 was supposed to mark the Great Recovery. Airlines added massive capacity, betting on a tourism renaissance that never came. America became the only major economy watching its tourism industry crater while 183 other countries celebrated growth. Convention centers across the nation expected packed halls. They were empty instead. International traffic crashed 41% year over year at some hubs. Gates turned into museum exhibits. 41%. The kind of drop that transforms bustling gates into museum exhibits of better economic times. Room rates have crashed to $163 nightly, a 16% collapse. Properties long holding $200 minimums are begging for bookings. Gaming revenue missed projections. July's $79 million take missed forecast by 15%. The baccarat tables, where Asian wealth once concentrated, experienced sustained decline. Casino executives shifted tone behind closed doors. One finance director said, "We're restructuring for survival. Staff cuts, dark floors, consolidation." Experts calculate total damage approaching $64 billion when you count multiplier effects. Lost jobs, missing tax revenue, and downstream impacts ripple across communities. Las Vegas writes the obituary for American tourism. A completely dead Vegas where silence replaced slot symphonies. Harry Reid operated at just 60% capacity during August's peak season. Foreign languages that once created a polyglot symphony were replaced by echoing emptiness. International traffic collapsed, leaving massive holes in high-end spending. Some Las Vegas international channels crashed 41% year over year. The Strip's desperation screams from every desperate price tag and promotional banner. Room rates fell to $163. Occupancy hit 74% when Vegas was engineered to run at 95%. That capacity gap multiplies into millions, vaporizing every single hour. Gaming revenue missed targets. The baccarat tables saw the first sustained decline in living memory. July's $79 million missed industry projections by 15%. Caesars CEO used diplomatic language, but executives privately said something different. "We're not adjusting anymore. We're restructuring for basic survival," said one finance director. Entire floors left dark. Language services and amenities reduced to skeleton levels. Operators pivoted to domestic marketing, but domestic visitors spend far less. Thousands of hospitality workers face cuts, reduced hours, and job insecurity. Retail, restaurants, and service suppliers feel the shock waves. When even gamblers stop coming, you've reached the ultimate failure for America's gambling capital. Millions evaporate every hour the city runs below capacity. Hawaii's paradise transformed into economic purgatory for local businesses. Japanese visitors, once economic oxygen, have flatlined in many markets. Kenji Yamamoto's Waikiki restaurant once served 200 Japanese tourists daily, now perhaps 30. He flips through reservation books filled with nothing but white space. Many say travelers choose Thailand or Guam. Same beaches, fewer detention worries, better prices. Tokyo and Osaka flights now operate skeleton timetables. 250 flights eliminated in 6 months. Big City Diner's closure after 26 years sent shockwaves through Kaimuki's business district. Hawaii Restaurant Association counts 4,000 fewer positions than 2019 levels. Each lost job means a family questioning whether paradise remains affordable without steady tourist dollars. Tour operators, guides, and small business owners struggle to survive. Airlines slashed capacity. These aren't temporary cuts, they reshape route maps permanently. Japanese visitors to Hawaii have cratered by over 50% compared to pre-pandemic levels. What was once a steady flow of visitors has slowed to a trickle, and local economies are paying the price. The recovery everyone hoped for failed to arrive in Hawaii this summer. New York City finally dropped its optimistic poker face, 3.1 million fewer international visitors than projected. $4 billion in direct spending vanished from the local economy. Hotel Association president told stakeholders it's absolutely catastrophic. Infrastructure built for growth reversed overnight. The devastation cascades beyond Manhattan's skyline into restaurants, retail, and service industries. Los Angeles faces a steeper cliff. Tourism Board projects 25 to 30% international drops in optimistic scenarios. January wildfires offered cover, but insiders admit the decline began months earlier. San Francisco's 5% overseas visitor decline masks bigger problems. Tech conferences are choosing Toronto and London. Conferences that once booked years in advance are discounting to fill seats. Orlando presents a stark warning. Disney reports international bookings down 38%. When families choose substitutes over the original experience, you're in uncharted crisis territory. International visitors typically spend triple what domestic tourists do. Their disappearance collapses entire economic food chains. Each international visitor represents roughly $4,000 in direct spending. Hotel owners reconsider staffing, renovations, even whether to stay open. Some convert properties to residential use. Language services and international-facing operations are being eliminated. From Manhattan to Orlando, the tourist economy has reversed. The ripple effects will be felt in every city and town that depended on international visitors. Maria Santos cleaned Miami Beach hotel rooms for 15 years before joining 50,000 other hospitality workers in unemployment lines. They were promised visitors would return, but those promises went unfulfilled. Every lost job is a family losing stability, paying rent, tuition, groceries. Small businesses suffer when tourist dollars disappear. The Hawaii Restaurant Association counts 4,000 fewer positions than 2019. Federal officials cite tourism's 9.5 million jobs and $2.3 trillion in economic generation, figures now at risk. Local leaders scramble to find solutions as tax revenues dip and unemployment rises. Relief networks strain to cover families suddenly without steady incomes. Behind every percentage point lies real human wreckage. These are people whose lives depend on visitors returning, and they wait with growing dread. October brought a new $250 visa integrity fee, a surprise cost for visitors. U.S. Travel Association leaders expressed disbelief, adding fees deters the very visitors the economy needs. Washington touts a national travel strategy aiming for 90 million international visitors by 2027. Current math suggests missing that goal by 20 million visitors if trends persist. 13 countries now issue formal travel warnings about visiting America. These aren't suggestions, they're official cautions that alter traveler decisions. Airlines are voting with routes. Play Airlines will abandon the U.S., Condor cut destinations, WestJet suspended routes after bookings cratered, Air Canada, Lufthansa, KLM, British Airways, all shrinking U.S. capacity while expanding elsewhere. Other nations advertise hassle-free entry and welcome fleeing conventions with open arms. Business and academic gatherings pivot away from America to more welcoming destinations. Trust has breaking points, and the world's patience is thinning with each detention story and travel warning. Every barrier becomes a competitor opportunity for smarter, friendlier countries. The 2026 World Cup could see half of expected international fans not materialize. Olympic planners watch America transform from dream destination to logistical risk. Recovery now transcends simple policy reversal. Shattered trust will take years to rebuild. Act decisively before temporary becomes permanent. Empty Vegas hotels, vacant Hawaiian beaches, silent international terminals, self-inflicted wounds compounding daily. Policy choices, detention controversies, surprise fees, and unpredictability push travelers away. If nothing changes, temporary becomes permanent, and the summer when paradise lost its tourists may mark the season America lost its tourism future. Washington faces a simple question. Act decisively now, or watch patterns crystallize around avoiding America entirely. Time is what America lacks most. The clock isn't just ticking, it's screaming. Subscribe for the full investigative series, and share this story if you want answers.